What is up, Pyromaniacs? Pyrostasis here. We are in the world of Factorio. This is a game that I have played off and on for past couple months. Actually, it's probably a bit longer than that. But I've never actually done a full playthrough. I just didn't have the time for it, or other things were kind of getting in the way. And as much as I enjoyed it, it just never fit in perfectly. Now that I've started the new job, full time, I don't have the time to get into everything. It's something that all of a sudden my schedule's kind of freed up because, I'm not streaming 8 hours a day anymore, and a Let's Play is kind of nice to have because, sometimes when you get home from work and you've only got an hour, it's not quite long enough to stream, but, it's long enough to record a couple episodes of Factorio or another series. So we're going to try things out if the support's good for it, and if I continue to enjoy it. We'll rock and roll. Keep in mind, I am going to make a backlog of this. And what I mean by that is I want to make sure this is something I want to do before I tease you guys with it. So by that, I mean, I probably won't release this to YouTube until we get several episodes live, which means this series will probably be a little less interactive than some of the past series that we've done. And by that, I mean, I may make a mistake in episode 1 and then not know about a shortcut or the configuration or the fix that you guys tell me about in episode 1 until episode 12, because episode 1 may not get uploaded to YouTube until episode 12 has actually been recorded, if that makes sense. So I kind of want to make sure that this is something I want to get into and that we can make some progress about it before I put it up to YouTube. So if you're seeing this on YouTube, there's a pretty good chance that that series will at least come to a conclusion of either getting wiped out by the bugs or reaching our objective of launching out into space. Also want to point out that this is a mod-free game. We're going to run this for the first time. And after this, I definitely want to do Angels and Bob's mods. So there's a couple mod packs out there that utilize them very nicely. And once I get a little further along with this, I want to do that. And then, of course, if this does well, we're also going to jump into RimWorld. It was a toss-up between Factorio and RimWorld. The reason I chose Factorio first is RimWorld is just about to go to 1.0 and go live, or go to its launch. And Factorio is not. It's just had its major update version from 15 to 16. I think we're actually getting close to 17. So it made sense to me personally to do Factorio first. So like I said, if you guys like this and it goes well, we'll try RimWorld next. Probably do a base playthrough of Factorio, then maybe a base playthrough of RimWorld, and then a modded playthrough of Factorio, and then a modded playthrough of RimWorld. And that could probably take us quite some time to do figuratively. So we'll see where we go. That's the hopes. So we're going to do a brand new game. We are not going to do the campaign, so to speak. Starting the campaign, from what I understand, is a little bit different gameplay than doing the sandbox style. From my understandings, if you do, basically the goal is to get to a rocket ship, but I know at least in 1.5, the game was different. Like, and maybe I'm just being stupid, but I seem to recall that some of the stuff just didn't quite work out right. Like, yeah, it was a little different. It was a little weird, and I don't remember why. Some of you guys who played Factorio, you'll know that. So we're just going to go with a new game. I am going to do rich resources. What is marathon? Recipes? No. It's already going to be tough. So we're going to go with this. Oh, I'm so torn here. And the reason I'm torn is you can set it up to where enemies never attack. You don't have any problems with those. You can basically disable them. I think, yeah, you can just disable enemies basically completely, so you don't have to deal with them. I feel like they do contribute something to the game, and I feel like there might be a couple episodes where I maybe don't want to, spend time specifically optimizing the base. So I think we're gonna go ahead and leave them in, and then I may change my mind and regret that much later on. But it also gives us another outcome, because, playing the game, you basically only have, without those, you only have one outcome, winning. Whereas with those, it does give us the option to have defeat, which doesn't necessarily sound like a good idea, but it does make it is a good idea in some aspects, because it does give us the option to learn and restart and utilize some of the stuff that we've learned. Whereas without that option, we can't fail. And, you know, we might end up building on the foundation of terrible brokenness for much longer. So, if that makes sense. It makes sense to me. I don't know if it makes sense to you guys. Now, we are going to generate this planet here. Keep in mind that, was it tab? Okay, there we go. Keep in mind, oh my God. Keep in mind that, oh, this is a different looking planet than I've ever seen. Huh. Keep in mind, we are going to probably restart a bit, I think, but maybe not, actually. This is kind of a decent planet, and the reason I say that, for the most part, we've got a big old patch of iron up here. We've got, I mean, coal might actually be a problem. Yeah, we've only got 500k coal here, but I mean, that's enough to get us started. The real issue is we got copper here, we got iron here, coal here. So to me, it looks like we'll just send the main bus this way. We do have some more iron up here and a little bit of uranium. We've got water right here that we can use to power everything. So, and everything's open, which I really like. And there are trees, but they're not terribly dense. So I think this is the map we're going to go with. I'm not sure. Let's go ahead and save the game. And we're going to save this game as, let's see, YouTube LP 2018. All right. And then we'll do number 1. That way I can keep track of it. Oh, really? Well, then we'll just do YouTube, that one. There we go. All right. And I don't know if there's a way for me to show you guys the seed for this map. I was kind of hoping there would be. But I don't see it. Let's try, let's see, blueprints, production, bonuses, tutorials, trains, and achievements. Yeah. I don't see any way for me to show you guys that, unfortunately, which I would really like to do. But once I figure that out, I'm sure one of you guys will be posting this now. Like I said, keep in mind what I said earlier. There's going to be a bit of a lag between the time you guys say it and the time I hear it. Also seems like I've got sounds turned off. Whoops. From the last time I played this. We'll go ahead and turn this up to about 50%. And back in game. All right, good times. All right, so we're starting off. The beginning of Factorio is a little rough. And the reason it's rough is you start off with basically nothing. I'm going to go ahead and buy or build our little axe here, which is going to make mining this stuff faster. But the whole point of Factorio is automation, which is a little different if you're coming from Minecraft, because with Minecraft, automation is the end goal, and with Factorio, it's a little bit faster than your end goal. It's definitely, you know, I just realized we're probably going to want to do this a little bit differently. Well, because we're going to need coal. Well, no, I guess this is probably the best way to go about doing it. All right. I got to remember my hotkeys real quick. There we go. Control left click will do that. Anyways, what I mean by it's a little different than Minecraft. And like Minecraft, you just build the machines and you do your stuff. And you don't necessarily worry about, at least right off the bat, doing automation, because automation is like a late game thing. Whereas Factorio, it's damn near an early game thing. You have to actually start the game with a foundation of automation. And the reason why is everything in this game is built off automation. And if you don't, the recipes start getting crazy. So if you've ever played like old school applied energistics and things like that, and probably even still to an extent new school applied energistics, a lot of the things require, I really wish I could mine these rocks. That'd be really nice. A lot of the recipes build off of each other. So for instance, you start building, let's say, yeah, we got some coal here. We're gonna go and mine this up. You start building, let's say, let's say you want to build a furnace, okay? And to get a furnace, and you don't, but let's just say you needed gears and circuits. Well, if you start with that, you know, if you make gears and circuits by hand, you're going to be doing that all the time. And then as it progresses, you're going to need, you know, once you get to the point where like you need something that needs furnaces, now it's starting to get bigger. And then when you need something that needs that, and you need something that needs that, and it starts getting to the point where it's like, holy shit, okay, I'm going to be spending like 2 hours doing this crafting stuff if I don't get this stuff sorted. Excuse me. So Factorio, we're going to try and focus on automating very early, very quickly, and making progress there. Now, to let you guys know, I have played this game before, so this isn't one of my blind playthroughs like a lot of the times I do with a lot of stuff. But it's also not a completely, what's the word, known playthrough either, as I haven't beat the game, so to speak. You know, I have spent a little time with the game, but I've never progressed beyond basically steel production. I've gotten to steel production, but I've never really progressed much beyond there. And that's kind of where the game starts getting complicated, at least in my opinion. You know, that's where, you know, your basic mistakes start to get really, really compounded, and you start running into problems where it's like, holy shit, I don't understand how I'm going to go from here because I didn't automate this and this and this, and now I have to mass produce this product that uses all of those beginner products. And since I never automated those to an extent, we're not going to have any success. And it gets kind of frustrating to an extent, because then you have to basically go back and redo everything. And I get really torn with this game. And by that, I mean, I just want to put a little bit. There we go. That'll put half in. I get really torn with this game. And let me, before we go into that, let me show you what I'm doing here. These are 4 drills, burner drills. I put coal into this one, which then puts coal into, which is going to start mining, right? So it's mining and it's spitting its coal into this one, which then powers this one, which it spits coals into this one, which powers this one, which spits coal into this one. And so basically you get a nice little circle, and then you can just start pulling coal out. So if you've played Factorio before, that's pretty common knowledge. If you're new to Factorio, a lot of the game pretty much runs off of stuff like that, and you kind of gotta learn to do those type of things. All right, so we haven't burned all of the wood that we've got in here just yet. All right, so we do have a nice little map here for the most part. Let's see, pollution is on. You can see our little pollution meters kind of got out here. We don't see any biters yet, which is good. Biters, in my experience, it really kind of depends on how you do everything else, like how big you go early before you get them. And sometimes you can go really big early on and they won't come and mess with you. And then sometimes, regardless of how careful you are, they're going to jump you pretty quickly. So usually when I play this, I end up doing a bunch of little small things, and I don't make stuff big enough. So this time we're going to try and make things really, really big, and I'm going to have to balance my automation and my building with expansion, because the world is limitless, very similar to Minecraft. Okay, you can see the difference in speed there. We've run out of drills. Let's go ahead and build another one of those. And then we are going to build, yeah, we're going to need some more of these guys. Trying to decide how I want to go about doing this. Let's see. Is he building up a stockpile? He is not. So it's probably 2 of these to 1 of those. Let's see. Crafting speed of 1. Mining power, mining speed of 0.35. Unfortunately, it doesn't tell me how fast, because 0.35 doesn't tell me how fast that burns. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a second one of these onto here, and we're going to see if that caps us out. I'm going to have to learn all of this stuff as time goes on, because the different components here get more and more dense. So like, for instance, let's say these can produce 1 iron ore a second, but this takes 3 seconds to smelt an iron ore. Then, you know, you can't just shove a ton of these into it. Whereas vice versa, let's say this can do 3 iron ore a second, and we only produce 2 a second, then we need to produce 1 more burner to kind of maximize. So you can see right here, now we're kind of going in the right direction. We're moving up, so to speak, in that way. So we're ending up with a surplus. So it looks like there's about 1.5 of those per setup is what's getting us going. All right. Anyways, I think I was talking earlier about one of the things about this game that kind of drives me bonkers is there's a blueprint library. And you can go online and you can download all sorts of blueprints from all sorts of different stuff. And I have done that. Oh, my nose, it's just, I have done that to an extent with some things. I think if I put this here, yeah, that's green circuits. That's not what I'm looking for. Whoops. Up here. There we go. Here we are. Okay, so all of these are done. All of these were gotten from Catherine of Sky. Catherine of Sky is a very well-established Factorio, and she does a few other things, but Factorio is kind of where she got started with, kind of like me with Skyrim. And she does she does a lot of tutorials. And you can see here, these are massive little setups to do basically what we're wanting to do. So and this is kind of where I bump into problems is this game is one of those things that if you are new to it and you don't know the quote unquote good ways to do certain things, it can be very frustrating because you're just trying to, you know, make progress, so to speak, and you get kind of hunked up on just trying to make things function. And then, you know, there's the whole, okay, well, I made it work, but it doesn't work very good. It's kind of shitty. It's slow. It's, you know, instead of only taking a 3 by, the efficiency is terrible. So I'm always torn between, well, let's just go steal Catherine of Sky. Well, I mean, it's not stealing. She's offered it. She's thrown it out there where you can take a look at all the stuff. So I kind of run into the issue of, well, do we use you know, a Catherine of Sky thing, or do we do our own? And it's kind of tough at times. So I think we're going to use a mixture of Catherine's of Sky's setups and my own. So I've given her credit. You know who she exists. If you want to watch the game played through from an advanced perspective, she's available. I won't be using all of her recipes, but I will be using some of the basic stuff. And maybe even a few of the advanced things just to simplify things. But even if I use some of these recipes, it's not going to make the game drastically different, so to speak. So we are going to want to build some big processing setups. We're not quite at the spot yet where we can do that, but we are going to be fairly quickly. And once we get to that point, we're going to want to process a ridiculous amount of stuff. Because believe it or not, you know, once you start this game, processing is key. There we go. Are they full? Yeah, they're full completely. All right, good. And then we'll take out the iron plates. We just got what, 111. So that's a pretty good starting spot. So we need to get, let's go ahead and make both of these. We're going to need to get some stone going, at least initially, because we are going to need quite a bit of stone. And as nice as this area is, with just being flat and open and nothing kind of in the way, we do have a problem with the aspect that there's nothing really here rock-wise. So like these little rocks and some of the other maps, you could actually mine some of those rocks and get a ridiculous amount of stuff. Here, it doesn't look like it's working. So, all right. Click here to open a list of tutorials. Now, I didn't know that they had added this stuff. That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. Tutorials. How does this stuff work? We're just going to take a look at it real quick. All red to by using control left mouse on a raw wooden stack. Okay. Open the chest. Okay. Control left click. Oh, that's cool. Open the chest, transfer all items to it by control left mouse button on an empty inventory slot. That's cool too. First by using control plus left mouse button. Okay. Got it. That's cool. Transfer iron ore to the furnace, right? Take iron plates. Yeah, we got that much. All right. Open the chest and insert a single plate to it by using right mount button on an empty inventory slot. Yeah, okay, so like that. Got it. Makes sense. Open the chest and transfer a single stack of iron, placing it in shiftless mountain on an iron plate stack. Gotcha. Okay, makes sense. There are many interactions of items. The mouse button, control, transfer all, shift, transfer stack, none, pick up, drop stack, right click, transfer half stack. Gotcha. Cool. Well, that's kind of nice. We won't get into any of this shit yet because that's going to be absolutely fucking ridiculous, but it is something to think about. All right, let's make sure these are both topped off because these guys we can basically leave alone to go here. So kind of back to what I was saying earlier. I'm going to try not to, you know, but use all of Catherine of Sky's setup because obviously you could just go and watch her LP at that point. But I'm going to use some of her builds because some of the builds are the most efficient. Like this one right here is a very, very efficient build that a lot of people use. And there's a lot of stuff like this that is very popular and it's kind of, what's the word? Industry, kind of an industry standard. You know, everybody uses this, or everybody uses that. And some of it's true, some of it's not true. We're going to play around with it, and I'm not going to get too in-depth with using other stuff, but at least at the beginning, we're going to use some of their stuff. Okay. So we want to start off with using this setup right here. Now this, as you can see, is kind of freaking big. It's kind of massive. Now, I've kind of decided that we want to run our bus this way. So if we were pushing our bus this direction, I want to be careful going up and down. Now there's a couple options. We could do it like this, where we import from the top and bring down, which actually seems to work out pretty good. Yeah, I think we're going to do that. So we're going to put one right here like this. And then we're going to do, I'm going to be careful because I don't want, well, actually I do want those to connect, don't I? Yeah. And then I don't know how much space these need, but we're going to put this right here. Now that's just going to be our iron deposits. So these are going to smelt. They're going to take all of the iron that we're going to put into them and they're just going to make iron out of it, iron plates. And then down here, we're going to basically do the same thing, but with copper. And we're going to push this up just a bit and we're going to do 2 of these. Now, 2 of these may not actually be enough for iron. 2 copper should be enough, at least initially. So I'm going to go ahead and do another one for copper up here. Or not copper, iron. Actually, we may do another 2. Is that lined up correctly? Yeah, it is. Okay. So 1 space, boom. And then we'll do 1 more. And 1 space, boom. Done. Okay. Now, these are what we call ghost images. Now, ghost images are something that allows you to basically see everything, but it's not going to do kind of what you want to do with it yet. It's basically just sitting here. There's nothing actually here. There's nothing to interact with. It's just a, what's the word I'm looking for? It's like, this is what we want to do eventually. So pretty. So this doesn't actually function. It's not actually a real item. It's a layout. It's a ghost image that shows you kind of what you're planning. This side's a little fucked up here because we're technically on the coal deposit just a little bit, but I don't think that's really going to matter. If it gets to the problem, if it gets to where it's a problem, we can deal with that a little bit later on. I might just avoid this one actually, because 3 to 2 should probably be good. If we go, let's see, up a field, we do deconstruct planner. I can go like this, and it'll get rid of it all. So we'll just do 3. That ought to work out fine. All right, let's, is there a way to get rid of these? Delete. Deconstruction plant destroys. I don't want to destroy it. Well, actually, yeah, I do. Destroy blueprint. I mean, I don't want to destroy it permanent. Well, actually, this is the one I want to destroy. I hope it doesn't get rid of him in the buck. I'm assuming it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Okay, just gets rid of it down here, which is perfectly fine. All right, so we've got a decent amount of coal. We are going to need quite a bit of other stuff, and we're going to need to do one basic step before we go too much further. We do kind of have the basics. Wait, didn't I have? I must have gone further down by accident. I did. We need to get some research going. Now, research is how this game progresses technologically. As you can see, there are quite a bit of recipes here. And I believe there's some that are hidden that you can't see. So we want to move forward with this. So what we're looking for specifically is right here. We need this. We need specifically this and this, the splitter and the up downs or undergrounds or down undies or whatever you want to call them. We need these to make that. And to do that, we need 20 science packs and we need some research. So I think it's 15 seconds per, what do you call it? Per science pack. So let's take a look and see what we're looking at to get that. Now, keep in mind, we don't have any copper rolling at the moment, which is something we're gonna have to fix, I think, before we get any further here. So we're gonna need to set that up too, because we're kind of getting a little bit ahead of ourselves. Factorio is a game that's really good at letting you do that, because you can kind of plan stuff before you're ready for it. So you can see right here, to get this, we are gonna need copper. And to get to this, we're gonna need electronic circuits, which also need copper as well. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna build, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That should give me enough. So what I wanna do is I wanna double my output out here temporarily. So we're gonna place another furnace up here and 2 more burner drills. As soon as those get produced, there we go. All right, so we're gonna put you, whoops, sorry, put that there. Now we're gonna go like this. And just to make it nice and symmetrical for you OCD folks at home, there we go. That's gonna double our iron production, which at the moment is meh. We'll be kind of making a pretty big leap here technologically in just a sec. We're gonna go from basically automating nothing to automating a decent amount. Still going to be shit, but not a shit. There we go, put that there, that goes there, it goes there, and boom, boom, boom. Dunsky. All right, and we've used up all of our available coal. Again, not that big an issue. So that's gonna take a minute to cook. While that's cooking, we're gonna come up here and replenish our charcoal. Now, if you're new to this game, you've never seen this game before, you're probably thinking, God, this game's got a lot of walking, there's not a whole lot to it. It just, you know, you're setting up some basic stuff. You know, Factorio for a good player takes about 30 minutes to get started. For me, obviously it's gonna take a little bit longer. But I promise if you stick around, the game does get pretty ridiculous as time goes on. We are going to be automating these processes so I don't have to run down here and grab this stuff in the future. We just have to run down and grab it for now. Okay, so we've got 13 copper plates coming in, and this is going to require electricity. So what we're probably going to end up doing is having to scale our iron production just a little bit more. So that we can get some basic electrical production going. Now we have a couple options here. The main water setup is right down here, but we also have access to water right here and a little bit right there. Technically, all of those could run. And sorry for my dryer singing in the background. It's happy that it. Whoops, that's a wrong thing. It's happy that it managed to do some laundry. So we all need to be proud of it. All right, here we go. That's what I meant to do. All right, so we're gonna make 2 more of these and 1, 2, 3, 4 more of those. Now, right clicks, I believe, on this. I don't know if it does 5 or does all. There's a couple different hotkeys that do different things based on different stuff. But we are gonna need a few dozen more of these, and we're getting some copper plates, but I may need to upgrade that as well. So we're gonna do 2 more of those, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 more of those. Okay, perfect. Did I not get... Oh. Yeah, we made... I couldn't remember. I couldn't figure out what happened to our damn furnaces. Our furnaces that I made for this operation here got used in the burner drills. So, kind of annoying. There we go. 2. So, boom, boom. And then we'll go like this. 1, 2, 3. And a little closer. Boom. And then... Let me get some more of this. And I might as well make 3 of these. We got, what, 4, 5, 6. There we go. Perfect. Thankfully, I got over here before that stopped doing its stuff. Got to keep that running for now, because otherwise, once they fill up, they stop functioning. They stop doing their stuff. So, Okay, are we good? Oh, we're out, so it doesn't matter if we're good or not. Okay. How many iron plates we got? We're up to, oh, we got plenty. We got plenty. I need to be careful because if we expand too much bigger before getting radar and stuff up, then we run the risk of bumping into some bugs. So I'm not a big fan of bugs. We'll do that. Because bugs aren't a big fan of me. You are off center. There we go. See, I'm looking out for you, OCD folks. Calm down. Calm down. Okay. That's mostly centered. Mostly. All right. Let's come up here real quick and get one more big old batch of... How big is that pollution? Whoa. Holy shit, that pollution is getting wide. Part of the problem with us starting a desert, from my understanding, is pollution is what annoys the bugs, so to speak. So as we get, you know, more of these little things going, we're producing more and more pollution. Well, the problem is we don't have a whole lot of trees here. So without a lot of trees, we don't have anything canceling out our pollution. Now, I recall boilers could do 2 steam engines each. Last I played. I don't know if that's still the case, but we're going to run based off that assumption for now. And we're going to set up our basic power setup here for now. Well, we might do it down here, actually. I will probably change this up here in a bit, but we're not going to change it up right now. Okay, so we're going to set that up there, and then it's still producing some stuff. We'll give it just a moment to do its thing. It's almost done. We are going to make 5 of these. Yeah, right click, we'll make 5 at a time. We're gonna make 5 of these real quick so I can just kind of pull this out a bit. All right, zooming in so we can see. All right, so you can see there's water in the pipe. That lets you know that you're making water. Put that there. And then we want to put another pipe right here. We got more water, which means the that thing is set up correctly. So you can see there's water passing through from here to here. This is a little bit wider apart, I think, than we need it to be, so we're going to move it one more. There we go. That gives us one spot between the two to walk. And then we go boom, 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 shit, boom. Okay, perfect. So, with this, we want to go like this, and boom, boom. And these are going to now produce power. So we're going to make quite a few of these. I got to be careful because we're going to burn through most of our copper supply doing this. So while we're waiting on this, we're going to zip over here real quick and grab some copper. If we can get over there to do it in time. Oh, we're going to have to jack up our coal production massively here pretty quickly too. I'm going to have to start automating because we're... As you can see, this is what happens when you try and play Factorio without automating enough. You end up walking everywhere. All right. So, whoops. Boom. Boom. We're just going to hold this down and we're going to head over in this direction for now. All right. There we go. Now, the reason I've moved over here is we're going to eventually link up with all of these, but not yet. Not yet. All right. So let's grab the last little bit of copper here, and then we want to come down here and we'll... Do we really have enough for that? Oh, we're running low on iron. Let's head up. And then we need to head over to our coal area, and then we're going to start basically running all these lines. But that's probably going to take us a minute or two. And the reason that's going to take us a lot is this making transport belts is not a quick task. It does take a little bit. All right, so we've already got one. We are going to go ahead and make, I think 6 sounds good. And look down here, 70, 50, 60, 10, 5. You can kind of see that, and you can see how long it takes. It takes a half a second to make one, but when you're making 60, you know, all of a sudden it's like, okay, that's 30 seconds, you know. This right here takes half a second, but we need 50, you know, it's 25 seconds, you know, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So you can see that automation is key. Otherwise, you're just literally going to be sitting here playing with your dick while you're waiting for everything to progress and move along. So that is the goal for basically the next episode. I think we've kind of gotten to a decent stopping spot here. Hopefully we can kind of get this progressing before the biters show up to kill us all. But hopefully you guys like this series. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Keep in mind, you know, I'm going to try and do these probably every Monday, Wednesday, Friday for now. If I end up with a large backlog, like if we get up to, you know, more than a week in advance, then we'll start doing it daily. And then if we get to, you know, as we progress, we'll make it more and more until we get to where it's daily. So like I said, 3 a week, then 4 a week, and then just slowly work our way up to where we're doing it every day. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Are you excited for this series? Not. As always, love the feedback. Keep in mind, guys, we do have a merchandise store, which you can see right below the video. Or you can click the link in the video description. That'll take you over to Teespring, where you can get a Pyro shirt, mug, hoodie, or sticker, if that's your thing. And we also have a Blame Dizzy t-shirt for those of you guys who want to hate on one of our admins. Feel free. As always, though, if you like this video, please slap that like button. Make sure you subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next clip.